impressive. Still really impressive by the world champion, winning every single event he plays. Still not official, but seems to be very close to doing so.
Well, this is the position. He has 44 minutes, a winning position, I believe. Yu Yangi has 1 minute and 3 seconds. From now on, he's going to receive 10 seconds, but it is impossible that it can really turn over, I think. So c6 is the move which should be played, and I don't really see what black has in mind. If a3, c7, rook a1, so c8 would be a mistake because of rook c1 check, but white can, for example, just simply play bishop c2, and in the next move, for example, after rook c1, king b3, a2, white would be queening, but maybe this is not the simplest win. I'm just checking what is really happening here, and
does this too seems to be made in a few moves,
and then check, and then check. Actually, maybe I found the way where actually white is sneaking, goes out.
And maybe this is not the clearest of wins.
Okay, so I found finally a way how not to play it with white, it seems, or definitely it's not the best. So probably after c6, rook a1, or a3. Okay, so c6. Actually, that we have on the board, c6. a3. Well, it's possible simply to play king b3 and or c7, rook a1, and now king b3, for example. It's possible to play after rook c1, bishop b7, and actually game is over.
Only 19 seconds left for Yu Yangi. He is receiving the 10-second increments. This is move 42, but that's not the problem, the timing.
And he played a very smooth game today. He had just out of the opening, it was slightly better for white, it was no risk, nothing like that.
Yeah, typical game by Magnus. This is how oftentimes we see the world champion prevailing. He had a slightly better position, comfortable, but already after the opening we said that this is going to be difficult for Yu Yangi. And basically it was a tiny bit of an advantage.
Yeah, it was just very comfortable to play it for white, especially the situation what Magnus had. He is 2 points ahead, he's playing with the white pieces, just slightly better, unpleasant to play it with black, clearly.
We are just moves away from the world champion winning his
black
game.
Just played rook a1. And in the meantime, actually, in the Levon Aronian Fabiano game, it's right now we have just a pawn sacrifice has been made from black side, e4. And after f takes e4, black played knight e5, trying to play for the white weak squares. And actually, white is maybe getting uncomfortable situation right now, because the question is how white can be defending against f takes e4 in the next move and controlling the f3 square for the knight.
Levon Aronian is the one who, in case he wins in the classical game against Fabiano, he still has a chance to catch Magnus, but it seems that he is in danger of even not making it to the Armageddon. It's not about whether he can win the classical game.
And we have c7 played on the board, and well, there is not much to be done with black. After a3, white is not going to go c8 for sure, but I think the simplest win is indeed king b3 or bishop b7. You can start also with bishop b7, but I think king b3 would be the very precise way of doing it and making the win. After rook c1, just simply bishop b7, and king b3 is on the board right now.
That's a classy move, stepping out of the rook c1 check, so white is threatening c8, and Magnus Carlsen wins his second classical game, wins his 8th game in 2 classical wins, 6 Armageddon matches, and if Levon Aronian does not win against Fabiano Caruana in a classical game, then Magnus Carlsen is the champion with a round to spare.
And we have a lot of people here flew in already for round 7, but now in round 8 we have more and more people flying in, journalists and enthusiasts, and we were just hearing some clapping, some Norwegian bunch of people having fun and cheering for Magnus winning already almost the tournament, but for sure he won his classical game, which he won actually the first one, and in round 8. All the rest it was
True.
Armageddon. So it's
a nice bridge.